Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Tom Cavanaugh. How's it going, man?
Going really well. I got a few hours before a game today, so I'd love to, talk with you about sports from my side, your side as well, and just our broadcasting journey. So thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Okay, so talk about where your internship is at for people that might not know. I try to do it, but it's better if you do it.
So right now I'm in Leesburg, Florida, which is about 45 minutes northwest of Orlando. And it's one of 6 teams around the greater Orlando area that have a team in the Florida Collegiate Summer League. So there's a team out of Winter Park, Winter Garden, Sanford, Seminole County, DeLand, and then Leesburg. So we're home to one of the biggest retirement communities in the entire country. So the demographic of people out there is around, your 70s and 80s, elderly, retired people, and they don't have any other options to go watch sports and stuff unless they're making a long drive. So they're very invested in the Leesburg Lightning, and we get a lot of fans, and it's great energy out there every day. So Leesburg, Florida, it's been different for me because I'm used to West Palm Beach, a little more hustle and bustle, a little faster pace, I think. But out here in Leesburg, it's totally different animal, and I enjoy it a lot.
So how did you first get into broadcasting?
My junior year of high school, I always knew I wanted to do it. I always had a passion for it. Detroit legends, Dan Dickerson. I'll throw Mario Mpemba in there. He did a great job as well through his years in Detroit. Those guys really kind of set the tone for me wanting to be a broadcaster through my, early adolescence, 10 through 15 and stuff. But when I reached my junior year of high school, me and a few buddies that were seniors, they were like, hey, we should get together and talk about starting some sort of a broadcasting club. So we got with a few people around the Michigan Broadcasting Association for high schoolers and everything. And they set us up with equipment and got us to a few hockey games. And it kind of grew from there. We did basketball, hockey. It was too late for football in my junior year. So when I took over the club my senior year and became the director, a leader of the club, it was awesome. We covered every football game, almost every single basketball and volleyball game, and that's kind of how I got into it. And I've obviously grown a lot since then and everything, but I was very, very fortunate to be able to, at Notre Dame Prep, my high school out in Pontiac, Michigan, we were able to found something, and it's still running today. We still have people running together a broadcasting club down there at Notre Dame Prep.
That's awesome, man. So really, so you're at Michigan State doing broadcasting stuff, of course, calling college games and stuff. And what is that? But what was that like for you? What's like the best sport to do in your opinion?
Ooh, that's a tough one because I'm a baseball guy through and through. I've played my entire life. My first 2 years of college I spent at Capital University. It's a small Division III school in Columbus, Ohio. So I played a couple of years before transferring over to Michigan State to follow my career full time. But gosh, I love calling basketball. The fast pace of it, the big shots, even the small intricacies and small little details that somebody might not be able to pick out. Those are what I really value in any sport at all. But basketball is a great one, but I'll take baseball all day long because Lord knows I like to talk. So when a play is not happening, I got a lot of time to fill, and it's pretty easy for me most of the time. So I think baseball also because I get the most excited because I find the most value in certain things. That's not a walk-off grand slam or something, but a sacrifice bunt to move a few runners over, something like that. I'll get very excited about because not the normal fan will be like, hey, that's a huge key part of the game. So I'd say baseball for sure, Casey.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure. I think a lot of baseball fans get excited over that. So
no, you're right.
Yeah. So I take it, you're from Detroit. You're from the Metro Detroit area, I should say.
Yeah.
Tigers fan growing up?
All day. Haven't been a fan of anybody else my whole life besides Adam Jones. So I was a little bit of a Baltimore Orioles fan for a minute there in my mid-teens.
Yeah. So how are you doing so far with the Light? So talk about, I know you got a game in just a few hours, actually. How excited are you to get down there and call some baseball?
Very excited. This will be, I think, our 10th or 11th home game of the year. It's scheduled so we have 3 to 4 game series, but we never play all at one location. So if we're playing a team 3 times in a row, we'll switch it up, one the other, and then come back to home, or we'll go there for 2 games in a series, something like that. But I love it. Just knowing that, especially for home games, we pack the crowd. For July 4th, we had about 1,100 plus fans at the game, so it was packed there. It was any game down there is great. We're 15-7 right now, or 15-8. Sorry, we've lost 2 in a row. We won 7 in a row and then dropped our last 2. So we're kind of a funky group. To start the year, we won 5, then lost 4, and then we went back to win 7 and lost a few now. So it's up and down roller coaster. But right now, the Lightning are sitting in second place, a game and a half back of first, and we end around July 27th. So that's when the playoffs get going and the final records are kind of set out. So I think we got a great chance to make the playoffs. 5 of the 6 teams do. And we won the championship last year, 2021 FCSL champions, the Leesburg Lightning. So we're trying to make it back-to-back years.
So how long does this internship last? Like, how long is the season go for? How long are you down in Florida? How tough was it to find somewhere to live for a few months?
Yeah, that's a great question. The living situation was a lot different. Last year I was in West Palm, but we lived in Jupiter. I was lucky enough to have my family come down, and we rented an Airbnb for a few months. It was 2 months. So months of June and July are playing months. And then if it crosses over into early August, yes, but that's when you run the risk of players flying back, missing games because they're prepping for their college seasons and everything. So last year and this year both, I got here right around the end of May, and then baseball started up right on June 1st, June 2nd, and then we'd run through June and July, and then by the end of July we have our playoffs picture set up, and then either it's finished up or we still got a few games left to go. So I got down here on May 18th, May 19th. We had a full week and a half of prep, getting ready for the season, helping out different things around the ballpark and other ballparks in the league. So it's great because you can work out of your own single team, the one you're responsible for, but at other times you're going to be asked to help out with a team in DeLand. And for Leesburg, it's tough because if anybody lives around here, which I was lucky enough to have a host family, it's one lady, 92-year-old Janet Davis. She's a legend around here in Leesburg. She was gracious enough to let me stay at her place. So this is the guest room that she's got right now that I'm staying in, and it's just for a 2-month period of time. So once early August hits and the season's over, I'll be driving back up.
That's awesome. Driving down. Yeah, it's like driving down somewhere. It's like that's crazy stuff. So what, you'll be a junior next year in college?
No, I'm going to be a one extra semester senior. So
Okay.
I spent 2 full years at Capital, and then I transferred over and I've done 2 years at Michigan State. But the problem was I transferred and lost about 10 credits. So I took one summer class, just finished that up a week ago,
Nice.
and I'm going to finish out with 3-4 classes in the fall, but I should be done by the end of November, early December.
So in terms of broad, are you going to do anything with Student U or anything like that?
Yeah, so I do a Spartan Sports Report. That's one that I love to get into. Shout out Lori Dickerson. She runs the communications department. She's the wife of Dan Dickerson, radio play-by-play guy for the Tigers. So she's been a huge help to me and kind of learning an on-air television presence, because that's what I want to get into a little more. I do enjoy doing radio play-by-play because of the description and the detail that you can bring to the game, but also, more the money and more of the limelight, I think, comes from that television side. So if I could break into that realm as well, I think that would up my career forward it in a huge way. So Spartan Sports Report's a big one. And then I also do a few Big Ten Plus games here and there. So those have been a lot of fun the past year and a half.
Fun stuff there. Yeah. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to end up? Like talking to other people, and it's like it's tough finding things out there.
Right. I'm very aware of how competitive this industry is and how many people are gunning for the same job. Right now, I'm trying to start small out of college, find a minor league team somewhere around the country to call games for. I'm assuming there's going to be some openings in the next few years when it comes to play-by-play positions. But overall, I'd love to get to a point where I'm either calling on the television side or the radio side for a professional baseball team. But if I could break into the big stage, TNT, ESPN, Fox, that's kind of my end goal right there. And being nationally recognized, something like that, and being able to, get on TV 3-4 times a week, have the stand-ups, call big plays or stuff like that would be that'd be pretty exciting. And also I'd be okay to do any sport. I don't want to stay secluded just to baseball. If they're going to offer me a job to call basketball, or they're going to give me a job to call hockey, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting when you've learned all these things. All right. All right. Well, Tom, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us for a little bit. Good luck tonight, and we'll have you on again sometime.
Thank you, Casey. I really appreciate it.